All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol Nndm, Nano Dimensions. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. And before I jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first-time viewers and investors, and also to my subscribers, welcome back. So here we are with Nano Dimensions, and Nano Dimensions has had some volatility. Obviously, it's due to the fact that the offering was announced. It hit lows here of about 566. I'd write that down. This is probably one of the most important support levels to watch and see. And even down here at this point, 480. I know that this is kind of a far stretch, but this is for the next coming days and leading up to the day of the offering. 480. If that gets broken through, this will start to see newer lows. So keep that in mind as well. Now, the highest point reached was way up here at 737. I highly advise you to write that down as well, because in the near term, after the offering and everything kind of fixes and consolidates itself and corrects itself, there will be some bullish run if large institutional investors are jumping in, and that's what we're going to watch for. And then also, a lot of investors are going to make that decision to either jump in and feel hopeful or jump in on the speculation, or all the people that feel bullish. I mean, the offering happened. Let's see how much this can run up. You know, that's what every single Nndm stock investor for Nano Dimensions is waiting for. How far could this run up? And I think that this is probably, I believe, don't quote me on this, the last offering for the year. If anybody wants to go ahead and correct me or agree with me or disagree with me down below, you're more than welcome to, so that we can give out the valid information to everyone. But I believe this is the last offering for the year, which could mean that we will see Nano Dimension probably hit its all-time highs towards the end of the year. If it's like that, we have to see, because if another direct offering pops up again, it's just going to keep on making it feel stuck at this cap of about $7 or $6. So we need to watch this closely. Now, this resistance level here is super important as well. It's the highest point before it dipped. I know it ran up today and it hit highs here of about 715, 716. Those are important numbers too, but most importantly is up here at 737. But this is the highest point before the dip started and leveling off. And then obviously it hit the lows of 566 and slowly rose up and stuff. Now we're seeing this slightly fall. Tomorrow is going to be a very uncertain day, or it could almost mirror this right here and this right here. I don't like to say that. You know, I hate to be very pessimistic, but I like to also be very honest and not biased as well, you know, unbiased. And I make sure that when I say something, I'm looking out for every single investor, and I want every single investor to be aware of things so things don't catch them by surprise. So my honest opinion is that this run here was like a leveling off. It didn't really bring it to newer highs. It kind of held it up above the 50-day moving average, and we might see this break through the 50-day moving average either today in aftermarket or maybe some point tomorrow. If the bulls do try to reappear tomorrow, it might not even make sense because of the fact that the direct offering is coming up and you're almost like purchasing the stock at a premium for no reason. So I believe personally, some people are starting to say, okay, well, I'm just going to take my profits because they got in somewhere around this area. If you got in before $5, then it's not really going to make a big difference, but it does still, because this is all right now. If you're holding as an investor, you're holding from this point forward right here, like around 490, right? That's theoretically speaking, and anybody below that as well. This goes to everyone below $5. You're holding and you see your profits and you are making $100 profit, right? And this drops to $5 and you bought at around $5.90. That's you know, that's right there about $5, and you bought at, like I said, $4.90. your unrealized profit, because that's what unrealized profit is. When you see it in the system and it's saying up, this much percent, $100, your unrealized profit is going to turn into $10. There's two ways to look at it. Either you just lost $90 of profit that you could have made because it's going back down in that direction anyways. So what's the point of just letting all that unrealized profit sit there, right? And just dissipate when you could have just taken it and then you can just re-enter. You know what I mean? That's one way of doing it. But if you're a firm believer and you got in a lot earlier than $4 or even $3, around that area, then you have an opportunity to say, well, if the pullback happens, it doesn't really change much for me. I'd rather just hold because I got it at a price that we will never see the stock again. That makes sense. So like if you got in here, or you even got in here or around here, any of that area, like anything below this area of 415, 420, right? All this area here, okay, all those pullbacks, that doesn't mean anything to you. Yes, your unrealized profit, it dissipates, it disappears, and it can change from 100 down to 10, but then it'll bounce back up to 120. So you are a long-term holder that believes that the company is going to go even higher and higher and higher than it's seen before. That's completely understandable. And you can also take your unrealized profit if you want as well and jump back in at this point, but you're now buying, if you look at it from the discount you got it at, right, at the $3, $4 mark, anywhere in the $5 to $4.50 mark, or even $4, because anything below $4 is where you got in, or close to $4, it might look like a premium. It won't look like a discount. But it's up to you as an investor to pay close attention to how the stock is reacting. I'm just giving different scenarios on how to trade and how to go about it. I'm just looking out in everyone's best interest, and I want all these first-time investors, all of you that are starting to invest since this year or in the last 2 years and are still getting the hang of this and understanding how these public offerings work and how you can also take advantage of the history of the chart and how the chart is showing you how the stock reacts. Those are different ways to go about it. I want every single investor to never base their research off of one sole location, not off of just this video, not off of just one article. You guys have to go and do your due diligence and research at multiple places. Don't ever make a decision based off of one location, and don't ever make a decision based off of what you heard or what is said. You need to rationalize on your own, and if it makes sense, you will understand your portfolio more than anyone else, your intentions in the investment than anyone else, and your beliefs on a company more than anyone else, yourself. But I wanted to share that real quick because sometimes we get all excited and we let unrealized profits sit there, we look at it, and we never take it. So that happens to some people. Then there's also the other opportunity where your unrealized profit is fluctuating, but none of these numbers matter because you are a long-term holder, you are a believer in the company, and any of those small pullbacks don't mean as much because you see something different in the chart, in the stock, and in the company than the average investor, and that's fine. And also, you got in way before the offering's price target right now because it's $5. So if you got in before $5 and you're a long-term holder and you're a believer that this is going to continue up and that $5 mark will be a temporary pit stop for this stock like it did in this offering, then this does not affect you at all. If anything, it might make your average go up, but you might look at it as a buying opportunity. But if you got in anywhere above $5, this might be a time for you to take your unrealized profits, if that makes sense. Because then you're going to look at it like a loss when it actually happens. But if you hold, you're going to kind of sit there through the loss and then watch it go back up if the stock does what everyone's anticipating it to do. Because the most recent one, it dropped and it ran up from $4 almost to $7.50. It was like around $7.30, $7.40 range. So that right there tells you, okay, well, there might be a pullback, but this is going to run up again. Should I buy more? You know, those are the questions as an investor you need to ask yourself. You need to analyze where you sit in the chart and what will be best for you. You need to make your own rational decisions. I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold. Excuse me. I said I'm not here to buy you. Excuse me for that. I'm not here to tell you to buy, sell, or hold anything in particular. I just wanted to inform every single investor on the different perspectives, the different avenues, depending on where you sit. And you will have to make your own rational decisions on where you're trying to go. I hope that you guys take this in the information and sense of information for your best interest. And that's what I always try to do. I hope you guys learned something new if you didn't look at it that way before. And I hope that as we look at this chart, this information turns out to be great for you guys to make a decision and pay close attention to what's going on. So let's look at this closely. Support was definitely broken through. Our support has changed. This is the lowest point reached in the day. I don't doubt this could be broken through or actually tested again this afternoon in aftermarket hours, or we might see it get tested or broken through tomorrow. Our 50-day moving average is 614. Write that down. The lowest point reached is 566. Very important number. And then we have here 716, the highest point of the day. And then we have our 737, highest point in the bullish run. That is the most important resistance level that the bulls need to break through. And here we are with our current resistance. It's 690. If the bulls don't break through that, they're not going to stay above the 50-day moving average. This is going to crash right through it. It's going to go ahead and crash right through it, cross over it, end up in bearish territory, giving leverage to the bears. So I want every single investor to be aware of that. This is the highest point before this dip started, and you can clearly see the behavior of investors. And I mean 52K sold here, 21, 37, 46, 30, and 79. I mean, it just got even higher as the time is going by. We're going to have to watch this after market hours, and that is not completely in volume of sales, but it's been dominated by sales. So like out of that 79, a higher percentage has been bearish than bullish. So we need to watch this closely. Now our support level is 628. If that gets broken through, there's a very small window between that point and the 50-day moving average for this to end up in bearish territory. If it breaks through support and the 50-day moving average, your next point of reference is 566. If 566 gets broken through, your next point of reference is down here at 480, and that's a long stretch, but 480 is an important number between tomorrow, Wednesday, and the rest of the week. So we need to watch these numbers closely. But right now, 628, watch the behavior. If it breaks through the 50-day moving average of 614, you can watch the behavior between that point and 566. And if it breaks through 566, this could be on its way to newer lows, newer support levels, and getting deeper into bearish territory. So we need to watch this closely, pay close attention to how the stock's reacting. And once again, I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative. Keep these numbers in mind, long term and short term, and for the next coming days and weeks. And if you found this video helpful and informative, once again, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Again, I apologize to all the investors that are probably looking to just see the resistance and the support, but I felt the need to go ahead and explain a little bit more how these things work with these direct offerings and to pay close attention to the chart, and also help investors maximize profits, minimize losses, and pay close attention to certain cues and focus on profits. Because unrealized profits is just numbers on a screen, and collecting them is a whole nother thing. So I hope that information really was helpful, and I look forward to seeing your guys' comments and thoughts on everything I shared. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.